says I can introduce you yet. So if you want to come forward and take over and tell these people the events that are happening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I got to get this over with pretty quick. I'm losing money. I got to get my notes here. Martha asked me last night how long my speech was, and I said 3 minutes, and she said, "You've never spoke for that short a time in your entire life." And, I'm not going to talk about this book because I have the book and anyone can look at it. I just want to mention that it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for 3 beautiful people that helped me make it possible. Many more than that, but the 3 that were there plugging away all the time. And they're briefly mentioned in the book. I thought maybe over the last, 8 decades, that I'd learned a few things about gardening. I mean, if I haven't, my neighbor believes that anything you can't see or feel doesn't exist. So I talked to him a little bit about, soil tilth and philosophy and a lot of different things, and he just sort of grunts at me and he said, "Well, what is the book about anyway?" And I tried to explain it to him a little bit, and he said, and finally I said, "Well, anybody that worked in the garden as long as I have, if they haven't learned 1 or 2 little things, they must be pretty stupid." And he was satisfied with that. For me, God is life. And I see the life in the soil, and when it's enhanced and balanced, the life is more intense. And when I plant things in there, and those life forces move into what I grow, and then I prepare some meals and I share some of it, and I hope that those life forces continue and go on and become life forces in the people that eat the food. I hope that this book will be used as a tool. My notes consist of one little quote here, and that isn't even it. That's the bill I owe I read an article every day about climate change. I hope that my book will be a tool to help people grow some local food. It just bothers me so much to think that so much of our food travels hundreds and hundreds of miles before it gets to our plate. And our governments and so on have been making promises for 10 years or more about climate change, but we're going to have to be a part of the discussion pretty soon. Because here's the last one I read, the last little quote yesterday in a magazine. Climate change is the biggest issue that exists. Now look, in all your lives, what do you think is the biggest issue? This Irishman, that's a part of about 80% now of the credible scientists in the world, are saying things like this. And so I just think that maybe this book will be, some sort of a tool to help some people grow their food. I grew up in an environment where we had to store things because there was no transports, and and no stores like we have. And so it was just natural for me. And I think I'm getting better at it. And I have some vegetables there that I put in my storage in October. And that's what they look like. And I'm sure that there's lots of people around, you know, that could do things, you know, an awful lot better. And so I didn't think that maybe this would ever happen. I'm pleased that it did. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you both, Mayor Hunt and Ed Burt. We're so happy to have you here today. Ed, I assume we'll be signing copies of his book. Another thing